My name is Michelle Bouffard, founder of Tasting Climate Change, and we're here because this year we're celebrating 30 years of sustainable wine growing New Zealand. Quite an achievement. They have identified over the years 6 different pillars they want to focus on. And today we are going to talk about waste management. Quite impressive that if we look at the percentage of wineries who've put in place a strategy to reduce waste, we're looking at 81% of the wineries. Today, to discuss this topic with me is Andrée Piddington, the sustainability manager at Seaview Wine Estate. Andree, thank you so much for accepting to be here with us.
You're welcome.
So you've done a lot of things when it comes to waste management. And the first thing I'd like to discuss with you is you're part of the Marlborough Circular Wine Group, which is an industry-led association. And even though it's based in Marlborough, I understand that it represents about 80% of the wine industry in New Zealand, so quite important. Can you tell us what it is and why being part of this association?
So the Circular Wine Group is a group of wineries that actually are looking at mainly waste streams that the industry generates, that we can actually look for solutions to minimise our environmental impact. Things that we're targeting are things like mark and lees. And just trying to reduce down how we actually, impact the environment in our little part of the world.
And when you're talking about Mar and Lees, for example, can you maybe give me a bit of details? What would you do for waste management in that regard?
The group is actually split itself into little working groups. So we look at from a simple point of view, if you spread it, mark spreading to land. We've worked with the council to actually see how thin you actually have to actually spread it. We're about the waterways, making sure that we're not too close to waterways and things like that, to ensure that we're actually doing it in an environmentally sustainable way. We also have been looking at projects such as using mark to make into biochar.
Yes.
And so we've put grape mark through a biochar machine, and we have mixed the resulting biochar that actually comes out of the process, and mix it with compost and actually put it back to the vineyard. So it's kind of like a circular type process.
The great thing, a lot of the waste in the wine industry is actually, like you said, you can reuse it and it's compostable also. When we're looking at the Seaview Wine Estate specifically, can you maybe share some measures that you've put in place to reduce waste?
We're probably quite lucky in the fact that we've got quite a significant composting facility on site. So what we do is we take all our grape mark at vintage and put it into the composting facility, and we mix that with the lees as that's generated through the season. So that the grape mark, the lees, a bit of sawdust is combined together, and over a 6 to 8 month process, we turn that, and then we put that back into the vineyard. Yeah, another waste stream that we do have is, during vintage, when the harvesters go through, they can, when they're shaking the vines to get the grapes off, they can damage the fence post. And what we need to do is, after the vintage time, we actually go through and actually assess whether there's any damage. And those fence posts are actually removed. They are repointed, and then they are sent to other agricultural businesses to actually be used in their farming systems. And most of the wineries in Marlborough actually do that now. So it's quite a common thing within the Circular Wine Group to actually repoint fence posts and use them again.
That's great, Andree. Thank you so much for your time. And I want to encourage people, if you go actually to the Marlborough Sickler Wine Group, there's a lot of information on the website. And
Mhm.
also, New Zealand Wine has published their report, their sustainability report for 2025. I encourage you to go on the website. There's so much information about everything, including waste management. So thank you so much, Andree.